boys and girls. How are you doing today? I hope all of you are doing fine. I'm so glad to be here today. I am Lee Chai Mei from Sekolah Menengah Teknik Tuanku Jaafar, Seremban. Today, we are going to learn about the volume of three-dimensional shapes. Please make sure you have your scientific calculator and notebook with you. Let's get started. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to first derive the formula of the volume of prisms, cylinders, and cones. Second, determine the volume of prisms, cylinders, and cones using the formula. We have a situation here. Joshua's mom wants to buy a big cabinet to store Joshua's toys. She needs help in choosing either the cylindrical cabinet or the cuboid cabinet. Can you help Joshua's mom to choose the bigger cabinet? How do we determine which cabinet is bigger? Well, to determine which cabinet is bigger, we can simply calculate the volume of the cabinet. Let's find out how to determine the volume of 3D shapes today. Boys and girls, what is the volume of 3D shapes? Yes, the volume of 3D shapes is the total space occupied by the solid object. Let's start with the basic. As we know, this is a cuboid. I'm sure you know how to find the volume of a cuboid. That's right. The volume of a cuboid is equal to length times width times height, and it is measured in cubic units. Note that length times width is actually the area of the base. In simple terms, the volume of a cuboid is the base area multiplied by the height. The same concept applies to two other 3D shapes. Namely, prism and cylinder. We can determine the volume of these solids by using the formula base area multiplied by height. Notice the shaded area of the prism and cylinder. It is known as base area or cross-sectional area. Let's look into details on how to derive the formula for the volume of prisms and cylinders. This is a prism. Can you name this prism? That's right. It is a triangular prism. Notice that if we divide the cuboid diagonally, we will get two triangular prisms. Hence, the volume of a prism is half the volume of a cuboid. As we have discussed, the volume of a cuboid is the base area multiplied by the height. 1/2 multiplied by the base area is the area of the triangle. Therefore, the volume of the prism is the area of the triangular cross-section multiplied by the height. Let's learn more about cylinders. Look at the cylinder carefully. The base area of the cylinder is made up of a circle. To find the volume of the cylinder, we use the same concept, that is the base area multiplied by the height. Pupils, can you recall the way to find the area of a circle? Excellent! The formula to find the area of a circle is pi r square. Therefore, the volume of a cylinder is pi r square multiplied by h. In short, the formula is pi r square h, where pi is the value of 3.142 or 22/7, r is the radius of the circle, and h is the height. This is a cone. Do you know the relationship between a cylinder and a cone with the same radius and height? Well, the relationship is as shown. The volume of a cylinder is equal to the volume of 3 cones with the same radius and height. To find the volume of cone, we use 1/3 multiplied by the volume of the cylinder. We have just learned that the volume of the cylinder is pi r square h. Hence, the volume of cone is 1/3 pi r square h, where the value of pi is 3.142 or 22/7. R is the radius of the circle, and h is the height. You are doing great! So far, we have learned the formula to determine the volume of prisms, cylinders, and cones. We can now apply what we have learned to calculate the volume of the objects around us. Let's do some questions. Amira plans to host a tea party. Let's assist Amira in her planning. Amira wants to create a warm ambience for her guests. She wants some scented candles at her party. She plans to make the scented candles herself. She found a cylindrical mold of 14 cm in diameter and 18 cm in height. What would be the volume of the candle if Amira maximized the capacity of this mold to make the scented candle? Let's calculate the volume of the scented candle. This is a cylindrical scented candle. Do you remember the formula of the volume of a cylinder? That's great! The base area is multiplied by the height. The base area is a circle. Therefore, it is pi r square multiplied by h. In short, the formula of a cylinder is pi r square h. Given the height of the cylinder is equal to 18 centimeters, the diameter of the cylinder is equal to 14 centimeters, so the radius of the cylinder is 14/2, which is equal to 7 centimeters. insert the value into the equation. 22 over 7 multiplied by 7 square multiplied by 18. What is your answer? Correct! The volume of the scented candle is 2,772 cubic centimeters. Next, Amira plans to prepare cone paper cups for her guests to fill up their beverage. She chose these polka dot design paper cups. The measurement of the cone paper cup is as shown. What is the maximum amount of beverage that this paper cup can hold? How do we calculate the volume of this cup? Let's calculate the volume of the cone paper cup. What is the formula for the volume of a cone? The volume of a cone is 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder. As we know, the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r square h. Given the diameter of the cone is 6 centimeters. The radius of the cone is 6/2, which is equal to 3 centimeters. The height of the cone is 7 centimeters. Substitute the values into the equation. 1/3 multiplied by 22/7 multiplied by 3 square multiplied by 7. What is your final answer? Good job! The volume of the cone paper cup is 66 cubic centimeters. Amira is also good at baking. For dessert, she plans to bake a chocolate cake loaf for the party. She went to hunt for a cake box to fit the chocolate cake. Her chocolate cake will fit nicely into this box. The measurement of the cake box is as shown. Can you determine the volume of the cake? First, let's determine the shape of the cake loaf. From the diagram, we can see that the cake loaf is a triangular prism. We start off by finding the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 times the base times the height of the triangle. Then, to find the volume of the triangular prism, we use the area of the triangle multiplied by the height of the prism. Observe the diagram carefully. How do we find the height of the triangle? Well done! We can use the Pythagoras theorem to find the height of the triangle. It is the square root of 13 squared minus 12 squared. The height of the triangle is 5 centimeters. We can now proceed to find the volume of the cake loaf. The area of the triangle is 1/2 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 5. And the height of the prism is 40 centimeters. Therefore, the volume of the chocolate cake loaf is 2,400 cubic centimeters. for assisting Amira with her planning for the tea party. You have done a great job solving problems involving volume of three-dimensional shapes. Let's test ourselves now. Please have your notebook and a calculator to help you with some calculations. Mr. Johnson is a carpenter. He wants to build a playhouse for his son. Given that, Mr. Johnson draws a layout plan. The plan is as shown. Calculate the volume of the playhouse. Let's start with the base of the playhouse. We can see that the base of the playhouse is in the shape of a cube. The volume of the base is length times width times height, which is 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5. Therefore, the volume of the cube is 3.375 cubic meters. Follow on, we will calculate the volume of the roof. The roof of the playhouse is in the shape of a triangular prism. The volume of the roof is half times 1.5 times 1.2 times 1.5. Therefore, the volume of the base is 1.35 cubic meters. In conclusion, the volume of the playhouse is the sum of 3.375 cubic meters and 1.35 cubic meters. Hence, the volume of the playhouse is 4.725 cubic meters. Let's check out the next question. A sculptor wants to remove a stone from a cylindrical statue as shown in the diagram. The cone and the cylinder has the same diameter and height. The diameter and the height of the cone and cylinder is 7 meters and 12 meters respectively. Calculate the volume of the remaining statue. Let's start with finding the volume of the cylindrical statue. The formula of cylinder is pi r square h. R is the radius. Given the diameter of the cylinder equals 7 meters, the radius of the cylinder is 3.5 meters. The volume is equal to 22 over 7 multiplied by 3.5 squared multiplied by 12. Hence, the volume of the cylindrical statue is 462 cubic meters. Next, we will calculate the volume of the cone. The formula of cone is 1 over 3 pi r square h. The volume of the cone is 1 over 3 times 462. Therefore, the volume of the cone is 154 cubic meters. Since the cone is removed from the cylindrical statue, we minus the volume of the cone from the volume of the cylinder. To find the volume of the remaining statue, 462 cubic meters minus 154 cubic meters. Hence, the volume of the remaining statue is 308 cubic meters. Boys and girls, did you manage to answer all the questions correctly? Well done! You are doing great. Oh, hold on. We still have a task to complete. Do you remember that we have to help Joshua's mom decide which cabinet to purchase? Let's work it out. Given that one of the cabinets is cylindrical and the other is cuboid. For the cylindrical cabinet, we apply the formula pi r square h. 22/7 multiplied by 2 square multiplied by 7. The volume of the cylindrical cabinet is 88 cubic meters. For the cuboid cabinet, we use the base area multiplied by the height. Base area is 7 times 3 multiplied by the height, which is 4. The volume of the cuboid cabinet is 84 cubic meters. Well, which cabinet is suitable for Joshua's mom? Great! Joshua's mom should choose the cylindrical cabinet, which has a bigger volume. Good job! You have helped Joshua's mom to make a wise decision. We have come to the end of today's lesson. Now, you are able to derive the formula of the volume of prisms, cylinders, and cones. In addition to that, you are able to determine the volume of prisms, cylinders, and cones using the formula. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.